What's the name of your podcast? You said 3811?
I'm trying to figure out which direction I want to go into. I'm trying to see if I want to go with just like my name or the kaleidoscope or I don't know, like hot dog water or something like that.
Not hot dog.
Go in that direction. I don't know.
That'll preach. Hot dog water.
Hot dog water.
What's left?
But I can't do that because people are going to think I'm bringing on guests that's like
hot dog water?
Leftovers. Hot dog water ain't good. I'm trying to have good conversation. That's all I know. But so I think the thing that I'm trying to, what am I trying to start? So when I start these podcasts, I want people to tell people their birthday. Not to people to tell people, like my guests to tell people their birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's your birthday?
April 7th.
April 7th?
Mm-hmm.
And today is August 7th.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And mine is July 22nd. And it's like, you know, I'm into like zodiac stuff. Just see the conversation from like peer to peer, like Cancer, Aries. Because, you know, there's a lot of people out there is like, including you.
Yeah, I can't rock with all the Cancers.
It's those, you know, I might catch some heat for this. I tell you all the time, it's them June ones.
It is.
Yeah, them June ones is some weirdo. Nah, I'm joking.
They got issues.
Is there a particular? No. We all got our individuals we battle with in life, including ourselves. But I guess we get this conversation started off of how did me and you meet? Give people a little context on like the background.
I don't even remember what year it was exactly. I just remember you had that 11/11 hat on, and I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
So like the third time I saw it, I said, "I'm just gonna ask him, what is it?" And that's how our conversation started.
Yeah.
Your hat.
That's true. And then what was that? What year was that? 2015? No. It was after that. It was like 19 or something.
Yeah,
like
I came in 18, so it had to be after that.
It was like that COVID year.
2020. Terrible. Was it 2020?
It was, I know I was there. I know this was my second trip. I was there in 2019 and then left shortly after. Yeah. So it had to be around that time, I think.
It had to be. I just remember I said, well, people seem to know who he is, so maybe he worked here before, but the first thing I noticed was the 11/11. Because I always look at things like I want to know what it means. I want to know what somebody's name means or why did they use that word, or I just pay attention to stuff like that.
Yeah. I always known you to be like a very observant person.
Yeah, I need to know.
You got to keep your eyes on individuals.
Yeah, I need to know why you got an orange shoelace and a blue shoelace. I need to know. Something made you do that.
That goes back to like your are we allowed to talk about that, like the investigative background, like in the prison and stuff like that? Did you, I know we didn't talk about that plenty of times, but you like thoroughly enjoyed that, right?
I did for a while, but it taught me a lot because I learned to look at things from multiple angles, not just one angle. And when you talk to individuals, even when they're in the wrong, you get insight on how they think and what may have led them to do what they did. And it's not always just because they're an evil person. Something could have shifted somewhere, even in their childhood. Like say they had a trauma when they were like 8. A lot of people, their minds stop developing at that point. Yeah. So when you think you're dealing with a 30-year-old, you're really dealing with an 8-year-old. And it doesn't negate the fact that they're wrong, but it helps you deal with them a little bit different.
Yeah.
So I always ask questions.
Yeah. That's why I tell you, like, it's like me and you have like these intellectual conversations about human beings and what we observe. And it's just like some people, just the way they program and the way they get their rocks off, or the way they operate for as well as how they talk to people, it don't, like you said, it don't necessarily mean they're a bad person. They just got some stuff going on, or they just like very different from who me and you are. And it's like, are you willing to take the time to understand, unless they come over to your case every day and try to bring you packages?
A clipboard. A clipboard every day.
So that's the main venture you on now, the post office.
For now.
For now,
yeah. It's good because I think, I believe that God does everything for a reason. And I believe that he connected me to the post office so that I could meet certain people, including yourself.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have met in Walmart. It wouldn't have went down like that.
Well, you say you old enough to be my mother. So
I am. How old are you?
I just turned 35.
Oh yeah. I could be your mother.
Did I say July 22nd, right? 10 years older than me.
I could be your older sister. Yeah, at least. I still could be your mom.
You and my sister the same age. My older sister. So I give you that. But mom, I was like,
It's possible. Biologically, it's possible. It's possible.
Look, we don't want to think about.
Nah, we don't.
Yeah. So how long you been at the post office?
6 years now. 6 years after I left DOC. I was there for 20 years and 6 months. 20 years and 6 months. I went there. The day the facility opened was my 20th birthday. It opened on my birthday.
That's the one in Fluvanna, right? 20 years.
Yep, 20 years and 6 months. And I just had enough of trying to figure people out.
Yeah.
And trying to help people. Some people, I even see them now. Something you say to them, they remember, and they say, "Remember when you told me this?" Some I do, some I don't. But there's some people that actually just made a mistake, and then there's some people that is just who they are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how you treat them; they're just gonna be who they are. And I just got tired of trying to. I don't want to say play God with people's lives, but you do have a lot. In the position I was in, I had a lot of say-so in what happened to people. Some things that people did, I could either say, okay, we're going to do this, or we're going to add 4 more years to your sentence. And I remember a particular incident where the young lady, she was 1,000% in the wrong, 1,000%, which means that she had to get time added to her sentence. And the time she got added, she would have been home when her mother passed away. But because of a choice she made, she was there.
Yeah.
And when it happened, she was devastated. But a year later, she came and talked to me and said that that's what actually changed her thinking and how she handled herself and handled situations. Because if she had kept her hands and her feet to herself, she would have been at home to see her mom.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then you look at your own life and you think, oh, this is terrible. This is horrible. Why I gotta go through this? And so you sit and talk to other people and you're like, wow, it's not even that bad.
Yeah. Is it, you think you gotta be a mentally strong individual to deal with that place?
You have to, because it's a lot of vicarious trauma. And some people are very good at making people feel sorry for them. Yeah. So you still have to keep that level of, I'm going to listen to you and I'm going to try to understand you, but these are the rules.
Yeah.
You still can't cross the line, but you treat people because they're a human being. You explain to them, look, this is what it is. And I think I would say 95% of the time when I talk to people and just heard them out, that's all they wanted, somebody to hear them out. And then I explained to them, look, this is what you did. You have the right to remain silent. And you actually had to read people their Miranda rights because it's something that could go right here to the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And once you just sit and talk to them and listen to them, they know they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people, they have more respect for you when you treat them like a human being.
Yeah.
Because it only really takes us 1 second or one decision, and we could be in there too.
You're right. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like you thinking about the same old things. Like how did I end up here? And it's just like you see those people. You probably had people like that. That's just like they go in there with the intent to gain power over somebody, and it's like they don't have the thinking like you do, because it's like you can be right there with them.
Yeah.
And then the same people you was trying to control, take power over, and not be like an actual witness to them like you were, and just listen to people. It's just like that cycle.
That was one of the things that made me decide that I was done with it. When the staff acts worse than the offenders.
Mm-hmm.
It is because you're trying to be an example to people and say, hey, look, you're in here, but while you're in here, you can use your time wisely. You can get a degree, you can get a trade. When you go home, you can have a college degree from UVA. And then you have people that come in here because, number one, they can't control themselves.
Yeah.
They don't have control at home. And they feel like I have some sort of authority over these people. Like I control when their door gets open, when they go to the bathroom, when they're allowed to shower. And some people, they just abused it.
Mm-hmm.
They talk down to people. Like you really don't have to talk at people.
Yeah.
There's a small group that, like I said, no matter how you treat them, they just going to be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of them just want to do their time and go home. And there was a lot of people that they just didn't treat people correctly.
Yeah.
And a lot of staff did things that ended up in criminal charges.
Because I know you ain't a person that's with people doing people wrong.
Mm-mm.
Stuff like ever since I met you, you don't operate like that. You don't function like that.
You wrong.
Yeah.
It don't matter who you are.
Y'all don't want G to flip out on y'all.
Listen, I've gotten better.
Yeah.
I've gotten better over the years.
I know where you get better working at the post office.
Listen,
my mentor,
because it made my prayer life stronger. Yeah. I have to go to the Lord quite frequently.
Well, that's like, to not get off the other subject, it's just like all the things you've had to do over, what, Kaya how old now?
22.
And then Alea's how old? 17. So for all these years, for people to know you kind of been doing this thing by yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's perseverance, like you said, prayer, and trying to have strength to do the right thing, and then moving. Because most people probably was like, why you quit the jail? That's a state job. But it's not for you.
Mm-mm.
And it's just my decision,
I think you get to a certain, we go through seasons in life.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that I needed everything I needed to learn, everything God needed me to do in that season was over.
Yeah.
So he knew. So like if your destiny is at the end of the table,
bring this close.
If your destiny is at the end of this table, God already knows where he's going to take you. But it's things that you have to learn. It's things you have to go through because he's trying to develop your character. Mm-hmm. You have to learn through opposition and bad stuff how to control yourself. And you have to learn how to react to things appropriately. Because if you don't ever go through anything hard, when something hard happens, you're just going to fall apart.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because that's what I'm trying to teach my kids. I'm just like, Ori, she got mad about something the other day.
Your twin.
And I broke my heart too. But it's like if I sit here and tell them like everything's going to be all right on every instance, everything's going to be okay. But it's not.
Right.
And people got to understand that.
That's right.
Because it's like, yeah, I try to tell them all the time, like, I talk to my kids like they adults.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you still alive, you still functioning, you gonna make it. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that the decision you made is gonna be okay for your future, or it's gonna be okay once you get in school. It's like sometimes you gotta let people suffer the
That's
consequences
right.
and encounter people like you. Not saying my kids going to jail.
No, please, God, we not. They not
But
going.
it's like they encounter people like you that can talk to them and give them some guidance, because you ain't sugarcoating nothing. You just gonna tell them your opinion, what you think, and it's like, you willing to accept it or not.
I had a conversation with a lady, not to go back to the prison, but I remember having a conversation with a lady because she got caught with some drugs, and her history was drug abuse. So her going to jail, we were having a conversation, and she was basically saying, y'all don't understand. This is, she was trying to give me every excuse. And I listened to her. But what I explained to her was, look, you've been abusing your body for so many years. You don't know the next time you put something in your system, your body like, I give up. And that could be the end of it. And I think that's what a lot of people, I think people don't understand that, they think because I've done it 100,000 times and nothing bad is happening. It's just like stealing, lying, cheating, anything. I've done it this many times and nothing bad has happened. But when that one time comes, what are you going to do? And that's how a lot of people ended up in prison. You finally got caught. And when your body finally rejects all the abuse, you could go away from here. And I explained to her, you have children. How are you going to explain to them that this little strip of Suboxone is more important to you than them?
That's right.
And I told her, just don't say nothing for 30 seconds. Just think about it.
And then
she didn't have no answer.
And did she eventually recover from what
she eventually went home. And the last I heard, she was doing okay. But sometimes, I'm not going to beat you up about what you do, because that's what you do. It may not be what I do.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. But I always try to explain to people and try to encourage them, look, there are other options. This is not working for you. Evidence practice, you in prison. It's not working for you.
Yeah.
So you might want to come up with another way to react to your problems. Thanks. Some of them did. Some of them still locked up.
I think some people just destined to go.
I think so. And honestly, I explained to people they were upset because they were locked up, but in actuality, being locked up saved their life.
Yeah.
Because if you were still on the street, you probably would have been dealt with by now, based on your attitude and how you treat people. Somebody would have dealt with you, and it would have probably been a service in your name.
Yeah.
But being locked up saved a lot of people's lives. It helped them detox from drugs and alcohol for a while. So it's not everything that seems like it's, oh my gosh, I'm going to jail. I don't want to go to jail, Lord. I'm not saying I do. But it's actually a blessing.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. Because a short story, I had jury duty. First time ever, right? And it's so weird. But to elaborate on the drug thing, my friend, he just passed away last week. They found him on. This is what I've been told. They found him on Union Mills Road in his truck.
Oh Lord!
Dead from an overdose. And his brother passed away 3-4 years ago. And then Elizabeth Raymond.
I don't think so.
He passed away last week, so I just feel bad for his mom, her. It's just, both your sons gone. They didn't even get to become old men or nothing like that. But the other story, I had jury duty. So me, I'm sitting in there listening to the whole thing, but I'm very good at seeing something in people's eyes. Because the guy and his girlfriend, I watched the whole video and everything like that, and they just had a baby. And I know how a baby can change people. It
Yeah.
can change some people.
Yeah.
But I could see it in his eyes when he was sitting on the stand, and they were just like, you know, he a repeat offender, this and that. Just like, it just was constantly like just pointing the finger, just flicking them with like, you know, paintbrush with poop on it.
A stencil.
Yeah. And I, you know, we all went back out. How does it work? You go back out for like a recess, y'all go talk and stuff like
Deliberate.
that. And I told all the people, and it's how many people are locked up because in that process that we had are locked up because somebody's scared to stand up to everybody in the room.
A lot.
And it blows my mind. You know, respect to everybody that was there if they ever hear this podcast. But I was the first person to speak up, and I was like, I think he needs help. I don't think putting him in jail is going, because he got caught up at Zion's Crossroads, like with like drugs, and he was a little strung out and stuff like that in the parking lot. And I was like, that's not going to help him, you know, keep putting him in jail. And I said, I don't think he should go to jail. I said, we should resolve some kind of issue to make him, you know, be able to seek help or go to
mandatory.
Yeah, mandatory help, because he got a child. And I said, I guarantee you're going to change after this, right? And, you know, like 10 people was like, how many ever was it? They were like, no, like he keep on doing this. He ain't gonna never learn his lesson. I'm like, you don't know that. And they were like, yeah, because, you know, just trying to throw these psychological terms. But I'm like, you're not in that person's body.
Right.
You are not that human being. So you can't sit there and forecast what you think they're gonna do on his life. So basically I had to agree with them, because everybody didn't want to be there all day long.
Right.
So I was like, all right. And I felt guilty when I went back out there, because I feel like he locked eyes with me. It was like, you did this. And I was like, nah, bro. So everything happened. So I'm at a wedding, shooting a wedding video. And I turn around, I'm like, why that dude look familiar? And then I'm sitting there because I seen him. As soon as I got there, me and him locked eyes. And it was just like, you know, when you see somebody, you know, and I was like, what in the world? So then I'm sitting there, this wedding going on for hours. And I'm just like, I'm supposed to be focusing on the wedding. I'm trying to figure out who this dude is, because it's in the back of my mind. And I look at him one last time down there at the reception. And I was like, it's him. It was the same dude that was on the stand. He was. So
how much time between?
I think like a year and a half.
Wow.
And I think they put him away for 10 months, a year and a half, and he looked good. He looked cleaned up. And I feel like he knew who I was, but by the time I was going to say something to him, it was like I couldn't do it or whatever. But he was like happy. He was there with his kid and everything like that. And I was like, I knew it.
Wow.
But maybe that time in jail did it, or maybe it was just a baby. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It was just like.
But either way, you on the right path.
Yeah.
You on the right path.
So I'm just like, I don't know. It's just so weird how those little situations like that happen in life. And you know, we got this gut feeling. So it's like, follow your gut feeling. That's my big thing, you know.
I always try when I encounter people to say something positive, but there are a few people, and you know this to be true. Oh, just turn my nerves up. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you say or how you try to talk to them. They just are who they are.
What kind of advice do you got for these people?
The ones that I have encountered that talking to don't work.
Let's just like generalize the population that fit into that category. I don't want to single anybody.
I don't know. Normally those people that refuse to seek wise counsel end up alone, old, bitter, and ashy. They just are who they are.
Everybody can be ashy. Everybody can be
Oh Lord, there's some people that just, I don't know what it is. They just turn my nerves up.
I always told you, it's something about you that strikes particular males. It's like a group of them that it's something about you that they just
the ashy ones. We're gonna call them ashy.
The ashy males that they just like, when I say they flock to you, because I think it's that your presence. What I tell you at one time, your presence is your present.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you attract
ashy,
it's like it's something strong that you got that they don't have. And I think a lot of women can appreciate that, like they got something strong that a man don't have. Everybody got something for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But in your case, but not all instances, because you know you are happy right now in life.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always the ashy ones that
The
you just like,
ones.
yo, back up.
I think it's because, and I don't want to put everybody in the same category, but there are some males and females for that matter that they see somebody that they just can't finesse. I'm unfinessable, and they can't figure out why. Because I see it.
Yeah.
I see it, and I'm like, here we go. And I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and try to have a conversation with you to explain to you ashy. But they just refuse to hear it. And once I perceive that you just not gonna hear it,
Yeah.
I just stay away from you.
I don't know. I feel like you one of those individuals, like you want to keep messing with me, then it's like, all right, I'm gonna start messing with you, and I'm gonna hurt your feelings way worse.
Listen,
Yo,
I have gotten better. I have gotten better, but you know, I was the type of person where I want you to say something crazy so I can get you together. I have learned to use that talent in other ways now.
Yeah.
To write and do sermons and teach classes, but you know, I used to just be like, Lord, please let them say something to me.
Oh my God.
Because if they say something to me, I'm going to get them all the way together. Yeah. I used to be like, please let them say something. Please let them say something. And I need to learn that that's not always a good thing.
Yeah. But some people, you gotta get them together.
Yeah, some people never been checked before.
Yeah.
They've always been allowed to say and do whatever they want. And people kind of just cower and be like, okay, not me. I'm like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
I ain't hear you. Say it again.
All the smoke.
Yeah, because you're going to get fired. Yeah. I promise you. But I have learned to try. Even when I'm letting you have it, I try to impart wisdom. Yeah. And say something to encourage you, even though I'm getting you together.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know, like, look, one day what you say is going to really get you in trouble because you're going to encounter somebody that don't have all their marbles.
Yeah.
And there may not be a pause. It may be a bang.
Yeah.
You know, and some people listen, some people don't.
They don't appreciate your empathy.
No.
Because it's like you can that's like the sign of a good, I don't want to say boss, but a good like leader. Mm-hmm. Is somebody that can give you advice and be empathetic at the same time, but mean it.
Yeah, but while correcting you.
Yeah. Because
some people just need to understand it's, you know, you may talk to this person and this person this way, but when you talk to me, you're going to have some sense. Or don't talk to me.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to act, just don't talk to me. Mm-hmm. Stay away from me.
Yeah.
Send somebody else to ask me the question. And that's how I operate. I'm not fake. Yeah. You can't kiki in my face, and I don't do that. If you know you don't like me, just stay away from me. I'm cool with it. Mm-hmm. There are people that want everybody to like them. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm not. Don't play in my face. Don't be fake. If you don't like me all the time. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, that I was that way when I was younger, and you done taught me a whole lot. It's just I don't really like what's the word I'm looking for? I watch people. I
Mm-hmm.
watch their actions, how they do it, and it's like you still can be who you are, and it's like you gotta just let people accept what they're gonna accept, because you
Mm-hmm.
can't help everybody. And like you said, if you don't like me, don't come over here with this
Mm-hmm.
craziness. But you know what my problem is, and you know very well, I will go in on you and still be friends with
Mm-hmm.
you. And I feel like that. I don't know if it makes people angry or not,
That's a gift that you have.
but it's like everybody. I've always been told like, why you still friends with them? Why you still talk to them? I'm like, we had an encounter, but you know
Yeah,
they
I have
might not
seen
like
you
me
wreck
anymore.
people. And then the next day I'm like, what why y'all over here talking about golf? You just wrecked their whole life yesterday. It's amazing.
And I don't feel. I don't know. I just don't feel different about them. I'm just like, yo,
But you probably taught them something. Because people, I say this all the time, people think being meek, Meek, is being weak. It's not. When you
yeah,
meek, like you have strength under control. Like, I could smack your head off. I'm just not going to.
yeah,
And it takes more strength to control your actions and your mouth than anybody can have a tantrum.
mm-hmm.
Anybody can just say, oh, this is who I am. I'm going to say what I want. But there's consequences
Oh yeah,
that a lot of people don't want to deal with. And then you have people that say, oh, that's just who they are. That's just how they are. Well, why?
yeah,
Somebody need to get them together.
mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be confrontational. But somebody has to be like, let me ask you a question. Why do you do X, Y, and Z? And they probably don't know themselves. But I always tell my girls, and I live by, I hear what people say, but I listen to what they do.
Yeah. That is facts.
That's what you have. Listen to what they do. Listen to how they treat you. Somebody can say, oh, I love you, okay. But if that doesn't match your actions,
Yeah,
then you full of beans.
that's right.
So
And
I hear you,
yeah,
but I really am watching how you actually operate.
and it's like you don't. So many people go into stuff blindly,
Mm-hmm.
and then like you said, if they ain't showing it, it's what you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What you doing? It's like the post office. I'm gonna
Lord,
say it.
help them.
Oh, we gonna do this. We gonna do that. You ain't shown me nothing.
Yeah.
You know, besides make me go out there in 120-degree heat. Remember that one day I said on that street, I was like, wow, what did I say? I was like, yo, this ain't it or something like
You
that.
said something crazy. I don't know what you said, but it's harder than what it looks like. People think the post office is like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood with Mr. McPhilly that got 2 letters in his bag and it's like perfect weather all the time. That's not how it is.
Well, let's get on. Let's break this down to the people so they have some kind of uh, what's the word I'm looking for?
Understanding?
Understanding, complete understanding about the post office, because you know we got far few in between customers that really appreciate us.
Right?
But then you got individuals that are like, where am I?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know what you go through on a daily
Right.
basis. And let's just get the cat out the bag. Like you got bit by a dog,
Mm-hmm.
bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like tell people about that situation.
So, there are a lot of things I feel like um, should be made mandatory for people as far as where they place their mailboxes. And
Mm-hmm.
we should not have to walk up to your door. We shouldn't have to come on your porch. We shouldn't, especially, in the winter months when it gets dark at 5 o'clock and you're walking up to somebody's door with plain clothes on. People don't know who you are.
Dangerous.
People have been threatened with guns and everything else. And, an animal, I'm not an animal person. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just not. But that's their house and their job is to protect their house and their owner. And, I don't deal with anything that has teeth and can't tell me it don't like me. So I'm not a fan of dogs. I'm just not. But that particular day, the way the house was situated, I think when I came around, I think the dog scared me and I scared the dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's a German Shepherd. So, they're naturally protectors and trained to go.
Oh, yeah.
Just instinctively trained to go. And he went that day. It was nothing I could do.
Yeah.
They train us to have our satchel and put your satchel in front of you. What? That dog as tall as I am.
Yeah.
If he wants you, he gonna get you. I'm just glad it was my leg and not my face.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have been injured, severely injured, just because they had to go into your yard to deliver your mail.
That's like that lady that came down from headquarters. Got
Yeah.
her whole
head, a Great Dane, locked on her head. Now, how do you can't plan for that? And I don't care if she had 4 satchels on. If that dog wants you, that dog gonna get you.
Yeah. And people just think it's, like you said, like a stroll in the park. It's when I tell you got like a 20th cents when you're working for the post office. It's like you walking. It's not like we just, and people complain about us putting mail in the wrong mailboxes. We walking in the heat, the weather, the elements and everything like that. Then
you carrying weight on your body.
Carrying weight, packages in your arm. Got to worry about a scanner. Got to worry about stepping in, whatever. Got to look in the yard, see if you see any dog toys. When I tell you it's like 1,000 things going on in your mind while you delivering mail, it's not even a joke.
It's really, and not to mention, people are under the concept, they think that we just drive and put our hand out the window.
Oh, yeah.
But we walk. And where you park your truck and start walking, you could be way a half a mile away from your truck, and you trying to run from a dog or a person for that matter. So it's a whole lot that people don't understand. That little spray, we're not going to talk about your arsenal. But that little hot sauce that they give us, so it may give you enough time to put some distance between you and the animal. But if that animal want to chase you, what you gonna do?
Unless you got Hemi Rambo.
Yeah.
Got the bear.
A flamethrower. Lord have mercy. They just don't know.
Yeah, I want people, I wish people would really, they need to have like some kind of like national council that comes on like the news or something like that to let people know. But I don't I don't think they like care enough. You know what I'm saying?
As many carriers that have been killed, robbed. When the first one happened, somebody should have came to the table and said, look, what happened? What can we do to improve it? By the 1500, either robbery or death or heat-related death, somebody should have said, we got to figure out a better way to do this. Carriers are getting robbed for the arrow key because I don't know if they're targeting blue boxes to look in or what, but I feel like they just need to remove the blue boxes and make everyone go inside a post office and put it through the wall. So if somebody's looking for checks to steal or whatever it is, I mean, what can you do if it's behind a wall?
Yeah.
It don't make sense, but
we talk about the safety measures we could implement, but it's like it falls upon deaf ears all the time. I know the people we talk to, some of the people we talk to, they have like great intentions, but they know it can't go past them.
Yeah, it has to start from the top. And when the people at the top have never physically carried mail, it's hard for them to understand what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's like, no, what's that computer's name? Doris?
Doris? I don't know what her name is. Somebody.
You got a computer telling you how I'm supposed to do my job. And the computer ain't never carried mail.
You should be done by this time, but that doesn't factor in traffic. How many times you have to walk back and forth for boxes. It doesn't factor all that in. So you're telling me I should be able to carry 500 packages and however many pieces of mail and go up and down steps, go around the house, wherever their mailbox is, and be done by a certain time. And it's not realistic at all.
Not at all.
At all.
And I hopefully things will change,
I hope so.
but I don't think.
It has to be a better way. But there has to be one person that says, look, we really need to look at this. And it has to be somebody that actually has influence
Yeah.
to say there has to be a better way to do this.
Wonder who that could be.
I don't know.
I wonder if they listen to this podcast and
maybe
start
you
putting
never
stuff in
know. It
motion.
could pop up on their feed.
Oh yeah, they was like right. Nah, but if we know the past history of them, they don't care.
If you find a better way to, because our product is mail, and now we have Amazon and other packages. If you essentially, we are, as a carrier, is really, we're the machine.
Yeah.
So in my brain, if everybody puts their mailbox at an appropriate, safe place, we could deliver faster, which means better quality. More people would stay with the job because everybody's not built like that.
Yeah.
Everybody can't work in cold and hot and pouring down rain, and everybody can't do it. But it has to make sense. If you can just, put the mail in it would, for me, I just feel like more people would stay with the post office as far as employees and businesses that use us if we changed a few things.
Become more efficient.
Yeah, and you would minimize slips, trips, and falls, and dog bites, and confrontation with customers. All of that would probably go down if it just made sense. Like, it just, something as small as where they put their mailbox.
Yeah, that's a start, because you got a road that starts with an S, and it's like, why are the mailboxes on the house on that road? That is like, even in the wintertime, I've done it before, like winter, summer, everything, and it's just like, like as you said, it don't make sense for the mailbox to be on the house on that road. It really doesn't.
I don't even know how the people that live there get in and out when it snows. So you talking about us either walking that far up or trying to drive and then come back down. And if it's ice, there's one particular individual that gets medicine frequently, and I try to get it there, but there have been a few times I just couldn't. It's no way.
And nothing's been done about it.
Because, we have family to go back to. If we injure ourselves and we can't work anymore, then that affects our family. It affects a lot of stuff. So overall, if they would really look at the carrier safety, they would get a better quality for their business overall.
True. But it's like, do they really value the customer? That's the thing.
I don't know.
Do they look at it like that? Because if you got a situation like that people talked about before you even got there, and they still ain't done nothing about it.
Yeah.
It's like, how much do you really value your customer?
Yeah, it's amazing how, there are places on, in multiple areas where they just put up a cluster box. Instead of the delivery taking 45 minutes, it could take 10.
Yeah.
That don't make sense. If you get your carriers off the street and they get home at a reasonable time and have a better balance, a better quality of life, people probably would ride for you.
Well, it's like your favorite part, Barracks Road Shopping Center.
Oh, Lord.
Why don't they, like, by now have a cluster box over there? Because, like, if you, like you said, if you don't know it,
it's a mess. Crazy. It's a mess. I literally drove around one building like 7 times, and I had a carrier in my ear
telling you where to go.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. So for one package, it took me 30 minutes for one package. For what?
And
at least y'all could have the number of the business on the window. Put the business name on the package, not your personal name. If you're ordering stuff at work so your husband won't throw you out, Put the business name in parentheses so we can find it. So we can help you deceive your husband.
Yeah.
Put the business name on the package.
Yeah, that's crazy because I used to do that route. And when I tell you, I know how you feel. Because the first time I did it, April was like, and you better have it done. You know how she is. But it was like, you got to walk up one end, come back down, walk around this end, cut through here and come back through here this way. Then, go. And it's confusing.
It is. And
It's
for new
super
people, that's another thing. When new people come to the post office, they assume it's really not common sense.
Nah.
Just knowing where to park your truck and start walking is half the battle.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you walk the wrong way, you done.
Yeah.
The mail, some people have their mail where it starts in the middle of the street, but we're taught to go to the first house on the right and park. But if the mail starts 20 houses up,
you're like, oh, well, the one part that's funny to me, not trying to say new people are bad, but it's like the ones that think they know everything. But then they get out there and like, well, this mail's backwards.
Yeah, the mail messed up.
The mail messed up. And I've been running this route for 5 years, and you telling me my mail messed up. Don't be that person. When you go to the post office, listen.
Yeah, it's small things, how to load your truck. I talked to a new guy day before yesterday, and he has never been trained properly on a vehicle. So he keep getting out the driver's side instead of the sliding door. So that in itself adds time.
Yeah.
If you don't even know how you're supposed to navigate the vehicle, but people assume, or they just take it and go because they frustrated. But if you take the time to go out or send someone and just watch them load the truck, if they're doing something wrong, correct it then. Don't let them go on the street and then fuss at them because it took them 27 hours to do a 30-minute loop.
Because they didn't dress their truck.
Exactly. They don't know. They really don't know. It's not common sense all the time. It's just not.
And people I swear people think it is. And it's
really not.
It's definitely not. It's beyond that. And if you want to see what we talking about, go try it out.
Yeah, go on, sign up. Always hiring. Post office always hiring.
You know what they should do? They should do like a day where the community follows the carrier.
That's a good idea.
And then people will really see what's really going on.
They couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
About an hour in, they be like, no, I'm good.
What's that one street I had? Throw them on Crestmont.
Oh, Lord.
And tell them to do it the right way. Walk
from the bottom to the top. Yeah.
And I guarantee you halfway up, people be like.
Take them all the way out.
Yeah. And then you got your road, son. I'm going to say it. The
big one, the Alpengeist.
The Alpengeist, yeah. That one right there, nah. I don't get how you do that every day.
Zone 2 with those hills over there, like roller coaster hills. Who in the world? Like, people really don't. And it's crazy because when you drive on the road, it seems flat. But if you walk it, you like, oh, snap.
Well, it's just like, how many people we didn't encounter from different offices that's like, oh, like we're gonna come down here and show y'all how it's done.
Yeah.
Then they come back and they like, we don't never see them again.
Yep.
Or they like, yeah.
Somebody, I used to carry mail this place and that place. And then you pull up on them and they on the ground like SpongeBob on the beach, dried up, ashy. You like, you okay? I didn't realize. Oh, okay. This is not where you're from.
Yeah.
These hills are disrespectful. Yes. That's why I just try to encourage people. I think God created me just to encourage. You can't make it better. But I can encourage you and let you know, like, if you try, you'll get past it.
Yeah.
Just stick with it. It'll be okay. And maybe you might find out this is not my jam. Yeah. This is not for me. And that's okay too.
Yeah. Don't let anybody convince you to think like you have to stick it out because you can seriously injure yourself fooling with that job.
And not only that, if you're not used to being outside It's things you have to do at home. Like in the summertime, you have to drink water at home. You can't drink water when you feel like you about to go away from here. You already dead. You have to be hydrated when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
You cannot drink soda and coffee and Hennessy and think you will carry mail all day. That's not gonna happen. You gonna carry yourself to the morgue.
Yeah.
Because you going away from here.
Especially being like our age, like you gotta take care of your body.
You do.
You gotta hydrate because that first hour suck the life out of you.
It will. And it just people don't understand, like, and now I'm like studying different foods because I am getting older. And I'm not, I'm trying to make sure that what I put in my body benefits me. I'm not one of them people that, every time somebody eat a potato chip, I'm trying to smack it out their hand. Because if I want some chips, I'm going to eat them. Yeah. But I'm trying to look at food better. And a lot of our food is processed and just they do all kind of crazy stuff. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm better with what I eat, what I drink. That's why I love to fast.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, instead of saying, I don't understand what it is or I'm not strong enough to do it, just say that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like, oh, that don't make no sense, or I'm not doing that. Because you have to be disciplined to fast. Whether it's a spiritual fast or just like I call it a diet, because if it's not a spiritual fast, some people think if my pastor call a spiritual fast, or if I decide to fast on my own, because I just want to consecrate myself and get, spend more time with the Lord. People think if you're not really studying your word or praying more, you're just dieting. It's not a spiritual fast. But people can fast, cutting out however many meals, or really fasting is just detoxing yourself, letting your body do it on its own.
Oh yeah, because it gets down. Let's call it a fast. I don't even want to call it a diet because I separate that into its own category. And like you said, it's if you. I think society has convinced us that, oh, you gotta eat, you gotta have this, you gotta have that. And you got to do this, you got to do that. And it's like you said, you can fast from many different elements in life. But if you want to progress in life, you need to do a fast once a year to, elevate your health, your mind, your mental, your spiritual, everything. Because it is more profound and it'll help you out in so many different ways if you do it. And if you actually accomplish that, because you tell people all the time, and it's like, it's what sticks in the back of my mind. You ain't dying.
You're not dying.
You might feel like you're dying.
Yeah, you're not dying for real.
Dying, and that's what most people got to get over, because it's like, I try to tell people, you're going to have like headaches.
Yeah, because your body is having a tantrum.
Yeah.
Because it's like a little kid when you take their toy. I want it because I'm used to having it.
Yeah.
So when you don't drink coffee first thing in the morning, and that's what you've been doing for 10 years, your body is like, excuse me. We need that. Yeah. We go get it. We need that, but you really don't. And I had to learn, like, cause my personality is, you tell me I can't do it, I'm just going to do it to prove. I don't even want to do it. I'm just going to prove to you that I can.
Yeah.
So I realized, okay, when I started working night shift, I started drinking coffee. I didn't drink coffee like, in my early 20s, but to stay awake because I wasn't used to working nights. So people tell themselves, oh, when I wake up in the morning, I got to have my coffee. Well, then you don't have control over you.
Yeah.
Coffee controls you. I have to smoke. I have to drink, or I'm going to go off. Well, go off. Yeah. This is America. We have things that we can offset you off. You understand? So go off. I had somebody tell me if I don't get my whatever in the morning, I'm going to be a whole bee. Yeah. And I said, okay. You can. And we have consequences for your whole beat. We do. Yeah. You got to be grown enough to accept them and deal with them. But when you have to have sugar, when you have to, we were taught clean your plate. But in my opinion, It comes from when people didn't have enough to eat. So you had to clean your plate because you don't know when you're going to eat again.
Yeah.
We were taught, okay, you got to have bread with every meal. That's just what our grandparents taught us.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you eat, then you get dessert.
Yeah.
So your body is used to putting certain things in it at certain times of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you don't do it, your body's trying to figure out what's going on. But if you fast and clean yourself out and reset your whole system, you'll feel better. Like the sugar, the caffeine, it give you brain fog.
Yeah.
So when you get yourself back right, then you can think better. But you got to go through that detox. Just like somebody coming down off drugs or alcohol. You really think you're dying for a couple days.
Oh,
but once
yeah.
you get through the headaches and the whatever else, you feel better. You don't feel as weighed down.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't eat sugar for 30 days, as soon as I eat something sweet, I feel like I've been poisoned.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm leaving that alone. But then sometimes here I go again with a hump in my back, eating some cake or some pie. And then I feel terrible again. And I got to go through the process. Instead of just having control over myself and saying, I'm not going to eat the whole cake.
Yeah.
I don't need 15 scoops of macaroni and cheese. I might want it, but I don't need it because there is consequences to our wants.
But you know, the good thing about the thing that you've already accomplished is when you do that, your body recognizes it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't never fast, your body will never recognize it and never know how to get rid of it and utilize the right energy out of the sources that you put in your body and stuff like that.
Yep.
But at the same time, like you said, you don't need to do that.
It's just discipline.
Yeah.
Any child can have a tantrum. But I love to talk to people that say, oh, I'm grown, I'm this and that. Tell them they can't have coffee. They'll smack your head off. You're not in control. The coffee is. I need you to understand that.
Yeah.
If you can't be okay saying, if somebody say, look, we going into this meeting, you can't have your phone, leave your phone in the car. Oh, I ain't going. You can't be away from your phone for an hour.
Yeah.
You're not in control of yourself.
Yeah.
And people need to understand that. Sometimes I will sit with myself and I write stuff a lot. Because even when I pray, I write it down. Because if I sit and I say, okay, Lord, I'm going to pray for an hour. I'm going to push myself to pray for an hour. I'll do good for the first 10 minutes. And then I start thinking about what I'm going to eat for lunch, what I'm going to eat for dinner, what happened yesterday. And I can't focus on, and that's my goal, to be able to sit.
Yeah.
So I write it down because when you physically write it, you have to be focused on it. So I tell people, write down what you struggle with. And then write down how you think you may be able to conquer that issue. And then just do one at a time.
Yeah.
If you overload yourself, you don't accomplish anything.
I need to start doing that.
But fasting it helps you physically. And if you're fasting for spiritual reasons, that's a sacrifice. If you say, okay, Lord, I want you to do all of this for me, but I can't give up soda for you.
Honey buns.
Yeah. Then he like, oh, okay.
Something so small.
Yeah, just discipline yourself.
Yeah. And people, they say like, oh, that's minor. But a lot of small things can add up to something big. And a lot of people don't see that.
Put a drop of bleach in your coffee and see what happens. It's small. It's going to light you up. It's going to be long-lasting effects of one drop of bleach.
Yeah.
You know, people crazy.
Yeah.
Just say, I don't want to. Start there.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to stop drinking coffee because I like it.
Yeah. Admit it.
And then admit that you don't have control over yourself.
Thank you.
I tell people, you have to get control of yourself because when you make the mistake, it can't be, oh, well, I lied because, or I cheated because they look good. Okay. Now you got a prescription because they look good because you didn't have control over yourself. Yeah. You done wrecked your whole life because you don't have control over yourself. One mistake.
It's that admitting. You got to convict yourself, admit it, and acknowledge it. You know,
yeah.
Because like I I wasn't, I guess, I don't even want to categorize myself as an alcoholic. I just did it because everybody else did it for years. And it was August 11th, 2021. I just, I convicted myself. I don't like tell people, but it's like I woke up that morning. I was like, I ain't drinking no more. And a lot of people can't do that. Some people can, but it's the fact of that I had to acknowledge what was going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I doing this? That's because you doing it. And then, like you said, it always hits home because I'm like, I wish you would stop talking about that. Because I'm like, but you hitting home with me because I'm like, I ain't got control over myself when I was doing that, because I'm doing it because you, and trying to be a social butterfly because everybody acts likes how I act when I drink, or I'm trying to be the life of the party, even though it's like your personality comes out a little bit more, but it's like, how can I do that without having that vice in the corner to make me do that? How come I just can't do that without that? And I figured out a way to do that without that.
Yeah.
And that's the key to it.
I think a lot of people just have to start with, let me write down things I do well and things I need to work on. For me, I procrastinate. And I don't like to physically exercise. Like, I'm going to have to.
You do it every day, though.
But I think it doesn't have an effect anymore because my body is used to it. I notice if I do a different route, my body like, girl, what are you doing? Yeah. Because I'm not used to what. My body knows my route.
Yeah. That's so weird.
So when I go do another route that has more stairs and stuff, then I wake up the next morning in a pretzel because I can't move. But my route don't affect me anymore. But I need to, because it's hard for me. When I get home, I don't want to exercise. I've been walking all day.
Yeah.
But I know the older I get, I don't want to look like a sheet on the clothesline flapping in the wind. I need to tone it up. I told you this. Because I just don't want to, now we can't stop aging.
Oh, yeah.
Some people age gracefully.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, you like, whoa.
26 and look like
Yes,
58.
I see people that are my age or younger. And Lord have mercy. I don't know what happened. I really don't. Stress will kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Drinking and smoking, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
It sucks the life out of you. And I don't know why people do what they do. There may have been an incident that made them just say, look, I need to forget what's going on right now, but then it turns into a habit. But I always tell people that drink and smoke, talking about, well, it relaxes me or whatever, or I need to get away from my problems. But when you're high gone, the problem is still there.
Still there.
So you have to address the problem and figure out why you do what you do.
Yep.
Because like I said, everybody's body is different. And you could drink for 20 years and be fine. And then somebody drink for a year and have liver problems.
Yeah.
You just don't know. It's not worth it. But I think we just deal with a lot of things in life. And people use it as an excuse to be an idiot or a butthole. Because I went through this. This is how I am. No, that's how you choose to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told somebody that told me once, she said, this is who I am. I'm going to say what I want to say. This is what I am. This is who I am. I said, you say what you want to say because nobody punched you in your mouth yet.
Yeah.
And she just kind of looked at me. And I said, if somebody had rocked you, you would think before you speak. That's because everybody doesn't have all their marbles.
How old is this individual?
She is almost 40.
You done went through 40 years of your life.
And nobody ever rocked your neck backwards.
And never had any dangerous encounters.
Yeah.
That's
That's probably why she thinks she can continue to do it. And she's gotten better, though.
Yeah.
Because I told her, I love the Lord. But you might catch me on the wrong day.
Yeah.
And get your wig pushed back.
But how scary is that?
It is. Because there are a lot of people like that have gone through their life and nobody has ever either had the courage or they just feel like, oh, that's who they are. No. No. Because there are a lot of crazy people in the world.
Yeah.
And road rage will get you killed.
That's crazy.
That don't make no sense.
That's why I had to tell Lauren, I'm just like, I'm chill.
Mm-hmm.
I go with the
Until
flow.
somebody make you mad. Lord have mercy.
But it's like in traffic, I'm like, as I've gotten older, I feel like I'm saying like I'm an old man. I don't have anywhere to go that fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if somebody cut me off, I just sit there and look at them in the mirror, and they just look. The worst thing for people is when they know they did something wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and they look back and they just see you just like chilling. Then they feel bad. But when you back there like, oh, then they get ready to get hyped up. So I just leave all the variables off the table, and I told her, I'm like, people are crazy now.
Yeah.
They'll hop straight out with a gun.
They will.
And the girls be in their car and shoot all up in the car and all kinds of stuff like that. And
You
I
just
don't want that
don't
to
know.
happen.
And then sometimes I found that maybe that person that's driving slow in front of you, or there's a detour, it may save your life.
Oh,
you may have been in
yeah.
an accident if you had gone faster or anything.
Mhm.
We're in a hurry to get to a store, and you find out when you get there the store closed because somebody just robbed it, and you could have been in there, with your children. So I've learned, I get frustrated, but I don't react anymore because I know everything happens for a reason, and sometimes it's to benefit me.
Have you seen, I forgot what they call it. It's some kind of string theory thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They posted it up online. So this girl, she posted up her picture of her and her boyfriend. And she posted up a picture of him and his grandmother. And she called her Nana or whatever. And then I can't remember how many years ago, but she posted up the next picture. She took a picture at Disneyland, and her boyfriend's Nana was in the photo behind her when she was a kid.
Oh.
I kid you not. Gave me goosebumps.
Oh, Lord.
She took a photo, her and her boyfriend together, when they was like when she was a kid with her family at Disneyland. And his Nana, when they went back and examined the photo, she was in the back of the photo, walking out of the thing right behind them in the picture. And then him and her together today.
Wow.
So just imagine, like, it's a real thing, like you say, just like when somebody get in front of you, or something happens, pulled up this morning, daggone car sitting out there got 2207 on it. And it's just like, that's my birthday for anybody. But it's all these things, these sequences in life happen. And it's like we don't even pay attention to it. And people still get mad when they get to that store and it's closed. Like, oh, this and that. But then a second later, something happened right down the road, or, whatever the case may be.
I just think God does everything intentionally. And sometimes we feel like it's taking too long.
Yeah.
For example, people always, like, well, I've been praying for a spouse or whoever. It's taking too long. Well, there may be God knows where the person is for you. He knows where they are. But he might be still working on them. They may have some anger issues that he's trying to work out of them before y'all come together. Or there may be some ways you have that he needs you to correct so that when you meet that person, you don't run them off. Because we always think it has to happen like this. But we all have some things that we need to work on. People, they have children or they get in relationships because they have an empty space.
Yeah.
But a human is not designed to fill that space. And if you think that your spouse or your children are supposed to keep you filled up all the time, you setting yourself up.
Yeah.
That's not their job. Yeah. So you got to learn to be by yourself, learn to work on yourself and your issues, and learn that everything is not about you. The sun does not revolve around you. And sometimes he have to isolate you to teach you this stuff and put you through situations. Sometimes you have to go through 5 terrible people before you get to the right one, because he's trying to teach you a lesson in each one of them. And it's all in how you look at it. You could say, oh my goodness, I was with this person and they did this, this, and this. And that's why I wrote the book.
And I was going to get ready to
but that's why I wrote it, because there are things that God is really trying to teach you about yourself. He just allowing you to encounter certain situations so that, it's just like lifting weights.
Mm-hmm.
It don't feel good. And when you master 5 pounds, you move up to 10.
Mm-hmm.
When you master 10, you move to 15. But if you can't go straight to lifting 50.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to injure yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe you won't recover from it. So I think he takes you through different situations, hard situations, to see how you're going to handle them.
Oh, yeah. And do you talk about that in the book?
I do. It's mostly to encourage people, to let them know that, no, it's called God Sees Me.
Mm-hmm.
And
you got a copy of it?
I don't. It's in a publishing process.
We needed to
I know, right? I do have the graphic for it, but I'll send it to you.
I'll put it up in the video.
Yeah, it's just to not really bash anybody. I don't use names but people that know me could probably figure out who the culprit is.
Oh yeah.
But I don't feel the need to bash anyone, because even in bad relationships, I'm using me. I had a part in it because I either entered into it knowing this is a fool, or I remained once the fool showed up. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of sharing stuff that I went through to try to maybe help somebody from going through the same thing.
Yeah. And that's that you saying that as people, I think you said it earlier, everybody want to blame, somebody else, or I'm this way, or they just that way. And me and you done had conversations about, like, if it's partially everybody's fault. It ain't just the other individual.
That's right.
It's your fault too, And there's a lot of people out there that want to victim blame. You don't ever do that. But you, like me and you talked about, it's acknowledging your part that you played into that. And then you comfortable at the end of the day walking away from it, knowing that I played this part in it. I did what I could. I knew, but I grew from it. And some people stick around and, end up in those situations where they end up getting killed by other individual, and stuff like that. But it's just being in a relationship. You got to acknowledge what's going on. And you hit it. I say it all the time too. You was born into this life by yourself. Your kids, your mama, your daddy, they not you.
That's right.
You got you have a life to live. And it sounds so selfish, but it's like a mindset of, like, if you ain't doing the right thing for yourself, how you going to do the right thing for everybody else?
That's right.
And it's not possible. And you have to be selfish sometimes in life just so you can benefit what's going on in your life and the people around you. So I think you hit it right on the head with that.
I tell people, whatever people believe, I believe Jesus Christ, that he was born, died, and rose again. That's what I personally believe. So I believe that when you stand in judgment, your life going to testify. He's not going to ask you what your children did that made you do this, or what your spouse did that made you do this. None of that is going to matter. It's how you react to what the situation is that matters, and who did you help? Who did you try to help? Now, if you try to help and they don't take it, then that's on them. They got to answer for that. But one of my favorite, I don't call them chapters, I call them topics, because it's not really in chronological order.
It's from the book, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've talked about it before. It's an acronym, and it's DRAG.
Yeah.
DRAG.
Drag
them. And for years, it's easy to put your hands on people and drag them. Just drag them.
Yeah.
But the consequences behind that it's not worth it. So don't respond. Allow God.
Okay.
So if you do something to me, I could get you together. I could figure out how to get you back. But the best way to get somebody back is to let God deal with them.
Yeah.
Let him deal with them. And we, it's human nature. I want to see it. I want to see them fall. I want to see them get embarrassed. I want to see them humiliated. But it's once you say, you know what, you got it. A lot of people don't know how to respond to that. When they know they have done you wrong and you don't react,
Yeah.
they don't know how to respond to that. Because, and I learned this firsthand in a previous situation. This individual knew what they did was just ridiculous. It was no need for it, but I didn't react to it.
Mm-hmm.
I remained the same. I remained peaceful, and they couldn't figure that out because it confuses the enemy when you don't act like him.
Yeah.
He wants you to go off and act crazy because then they feel like what they did to you was justified.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, they crazy. That's why I cussed them out. Well, no, you cussed them out first.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that being peaceful and staying calm, that's the weapon.
Or you could just like Jeffrey Dahmer him. Yeah, just get rid of
Listen, we was just talking about what you put in your body and consume. I don't know what that would do to me.
Yeah, but that you exactly right, because you me and you talked about it before. It's just like, don't feed the energy that this person.
You had to tell me that a couple of times because I really wanted to drag a few people.
It's like we both got these like you got the power of the Aries to
fire sign
to get people together and see things, and it's like I can see the intention. I can see people's intentions like really well, and I told you, I'm like, don't feed what they want because I know what they want, and they feed off of this particular type of energy that's provided by other. It's a sick thing to do, but I said once you stop doing that, they ain't gonna know what to do.
Yeah, they don't know what they don't because they operate in confusion and chaos. That's all they know. They have to create because they don't know who they are. So they have to create this narrative and they have to create this whole show.
Yeah.
Because they know how to navigate that. They don't know how to navigate peace. They don't know how to navigate prayer. So I would be literally praying. And an individual, it would drive them up the wall. And they would have to say something, do something to interrupt that.
Yeah.
And I would never allow it because I know. And it's proof today because they still try to ring my phone.
Yeah.
And when their pitiful conversation doesn't work, then the real person shows up again.
Identity crisis.
Yeah. People need to really figure out who they are, not who they want to be. I might, listen, not to get off track, but I want to dunk a basketball on a regulation height basketball rim. I want to do that, but I know I can't. That's not who God created me. I could do it on a trampoline,
or ladder.
Yeah, but that's not, it's only one Muggsy Bogues. I'm not him. Yeah. So I can't walk around making people pay for the fact that I'm not this. I got to figure out who God created me to be and try to be the best at it that I can be. I can't be Raheem. I can't. Raheem Barbour. I can't be you. So I can't be mad about it and everybody I encounter feel the wrath because I can't be him.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But that's how some people are.
And that's the direction the world going.
Because they look at social media and these people that are posting pieces of their life. Not all of it.
Nope.
They're only posting pieces. So we measure ourselves with their ruler. And we sit around and feel bad because we're not driving this or living in this type of whatever or wearing this type of clothes. If I can't spell it, I'm not wearing it or eating it.
You said Balenciaga.
I can't even say it. How you say it?
Balenciaga.
I don't know what I said, but I can't spell it or say it. So I don't need it.
It's the social media is like corruption of the mind.
It's the enemy.
Because if you can't, I've always told you, it's like I'm good at separating stuff. The average human being can't separate it.
That's right.
And they know how to manipulate individuals into like, this could be you. This, you can attain this. Then you fall short of that. And like you said, you get depressed, you get angry, you wondering why. And then you start blaming this person, blaming these people for why and where. And I said, It's good and it's bad. It's very bad for the mass because people don't know how to separate it.
And I feel like that's the enemy. And because he can't be everywhere at one time, he can't read your mind. He knows what comes out your mouth, and he can use it against you. But the internet, music, that's one way of being everywhere at one time. And people, there's a lot of people that, if they don't, I know people that driving a Tesla and their whole roof caving in on the house. Now, listen, that's not smart.
Yeah.
People perceive living well or having a good life as having this, and this, and this. And they're teaching their children to do the same thing. Children don't know their address, but they got Jordans on. They got a whole mouthful of silver teeth. So you don't have dental insurance for your children, but they got every new pair of Jordan. That's crazy, because that's the ideal living well.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it has to stop.
It does. Stop. And people are going broke, killing each other for possessions. For what?
Can't even take it with you.
No.
Can't you take it with you?
I refuse. I have I don't know, I may have one pair of Nike. I'm not saying nothing bad about anybody that wears name brand clothes. Because if you work for it and you want to buy yourself something nice, by all means. The problem I have is when it's a mandate.
Oh, yeah. And
you put that first. So I can't put this on my body unless it costs $100,000. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You got more name brand clothes in your house than hygiene products. You is out of order. You out of order. You understand? People gotta get their priorities together. You gotta figure out who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You wearing clothes made by people that don't even like you.
Exactly.
You don't know these people.
And if you actually acknowledge the efforts that's put into making these clothes, like the people that are making them, that's getting paid pennies on the dollar, and you just you fine with it.
Exactly.
Like you said, I'm not jealous by any means, but I take everything in perspective when I look at stuff and everything, and it's just you paying for something. Remember we said we put your name on a shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee
they can't pronounce it.
And
you put an $800 tag on it. I'm gonna get that. You don't even know what it stands for. What does Balenciaga? Did I say it right? Yeah. What does that even mean? Have anybody looked that word up?
I don't know what it means.
It could mean I eat cockroaches. And people be like, girl, my slides cost $300. Why? And your feet in them slides look like you stomped out a forest fire. Why do you have them on? You could have spent $60 and got a pedicure and saved your money. I'm confused.
I eat cockroaches.
They don't even know. I have to find out what does this word mean?
Yeah.
It could mean anything. If people walk around, with it on.
Yeah.
You are ambassador for a brand and you don't even know what it means, who makes it, what it stands for. It's crazy.
I eat cockroaches. Yo.
Listen, they don't have a clue.
When I say you got the most solid comebacks.
I stay ready.
Yo.
I'm gotten better though. I've gotten better.
G is my mentor for comeback. I told her, I said, I just get angry. I said, I don't say nothing, but I said, I need to work on my comeback game because you just
I'm quick with it.
The only time I came back good was with Terry. When I said I don't even trust my goldfish.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I was
that was a good one.
Okay, I'm tapping in right now to my energy.
Yeah, you just have to, my brain is always working.
Yeah.
It's always working. When I was young, I used to read the thesaurus.
Thesaurus?
I still have it. I just would read it.
You know how many people don't even know what that is?
Yeah. And you could tell in that conversation because they don't use any other words but profanity. Just because you talk loud does not mean it means more. Just calm down. Learn some words. Use your words. Yeah. Use your words.
We sitting there talking to grown individuals.
Yeah.
Like they kids, like use your words.
Yeah, use your words. Like, do you know any other words?
Probably not.
They got like a solid 8 and they just interchange them in the conversation. It's so sad. We have to do better.
Yeah.
We have to.
Humanity. So do you have something? I need you to give me your closing thoughts.
Okay.
And then I need you to provide people with the information about your book coming out.
Okay.
And make sure you use your words.
Use my words
thoroughly so these people understand.
My closing thoughts about what?
That just life in general.
I feel that we were all created for a unique purpose.
Mm-hmm.
God created you to accomplish something. He did not create me to accomplish the same thing. Now, he connected us for a reason. We may help each other in that goal, but our individual purpose is different.
Mm-hmm.
I think people need to stop looking at other people and measuring themselves by those people, how I look, or I look like this, or, you know, I'm not small, or I'm light skinned, or I'm dark skinned. None of that matters. He created you specifically, the way you are, the way you talk, the way you walk, everything for a reason. I think you could reach people that I couldn't.
Yeah.
And it's just because we have different swag, you know, and I think that people need to sit down and really try to just stop comparing yourself to people and what they have and what they do and what they drive. And you need to figure out whether you ask God to help you or a therapist, because both are needed.
Yeah.
Who you are. And really figure out what it is you like. I think a lot of us do things that we don't even like because we have to do it, because we have to provide. And it's just, that's why I wrote the book. It's in the process of being published by a gentleman named James Calmer.
My dude.
The publishing company is Blessed with Words. He's local. There was a lot of stuff I looked up online, and I was like, nah, I want somebody local, somebody faith-based to, and I'll give you his information and put in the comments if you want. But yeah, I started writing it in 2020 when stuff was really, really bad, and I'm still feeling the effects of it now, but I think a lot of people have stuff to say. They just worried about what people going to think about it or say about it. I don't care no more. I don't. I finally had to realize, and it felt weird. It feels weird saying I have a talent or I have, because I'm a humble person. People think I'm quiet until they talk to me.
Oh yeah.
I just don't fool with everybody.
Trust me.
I just don't. I just choose not to give my energy to everybody.
Yeah.
But I just want people to be encouraged and understand that whatever you're going through is for a reason. You got to figure out what you're supposed to learn. Not, oh God, this happened to me. Why did this happen to me? Well, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why did God use the cross? Why did he have to go through the cross? Why? So why we think we don't have to go through anything or we don't have to suffer? Why?
Yeah.
And I always try to remember that no matter what I'm going through, somebody is dealing with something far worse.
And that just goes back to what you said in the beginning of the conversation. It's just like, it goes hand in hand. You got to humble yourself because somebody going through something 10 times worse than what you're going through.
Yeah. I might be dealing with car issues, but they on dialysis every day. We complain because we don't feel like carrying mail, walking our route, but somebody in a wheelchair and can't get up.
Yeah.
And I think when we really sit down and I write stuff out, I just write it out so I can go back and read it. But when you really say, look, I may not have everything I want. I may not have the job I want. I may not be able to just go buy whatever I want and don't think about it. But there's somebody that really wish they could be in your spot. And I think when you start to think about it that way, you become more thankful and more humble, because it could always be worse. But whatever you're going through, I just wanted people to know that God sees you, He hears you, and He loves you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, just because you're going through something doesn't mean that God is against you. And I'll say this, and then I know we got to go. I had a conversation with somebody, and they were struggling with their faith because they prayed for somebody to get healed.
Yeah.
And God didn't heal them here.
Mm-hmm.
But, even when my grandmother was sick and I prayed about it, we don't know, that person might have been praying for God to take them.
Mm-hmm.
But we want them to be here. He has a reason for doing everything. And sometimes we just have to put our own personal feelings to the side and learn from the situation.
Oh, yeah.
Individually. Because my walk is not your walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because He has a different goal for you. So we just have to take the time to figure out why He created us.
Mm-hmm.
And you can either go through this life and wreak havoc and be an earth disturber your whole life, or you can try to figure out why you're here and just try to encourage people.
That's right. Because
the last thing you say to someone could be the last thing they hear or you ever say.
Dang.
So how do you want to be remembered?
Dang. You got me thinking about what I done said to people.
Yeah, I've had to go back and correct some stuff. That doesn't mean I have to allow you access to me.
Yeah.
But I've had to apologize and say, look, when I said this to you, that was out of order.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't want to talk to you, but I shouldn't have said that. And sometimes you got to do that and let it go.
Yeah.
Now you're free from it. And people wait on people to apologize. They don't owe you an apology. They don't.
No.
They don't owe, because they going to get dealt with. They don't owe you an apology. Some people don't even know why they're apologizing because they really don't know what they did is wrong. They think it's normal. So I don't look for apologies anymore. I just don't allow people access to me anymore.
I done seen that firsthand.
Cut you off. Yeah. Act like your birth certificate was never printed.
Well, that's like, and for people that go through stuff like that and they feel a certain type of way, and people are like, well, I'm not perfect. I'm here to say you are, because I said, look at this, or look at how many generations of people had to live for you to be where you at. Mm-hmm. That's perfection, you know? So don't ever think. I just had this whole thing on my mind over the past couple months, because I'm not trying to, etch out any race or anything, because anybody can die from anything. But it's how divine is it that we sitting here as African American? Because it could have been one bad decision, mm-hmm. one wrong move, one wrong, no, I'm not doing that. And one of our ancestors could have been. Yep. But I'm glad I'm here because I have a tremendous amount of friends and everything like that. But it just goes for everybody out there. You are in a perfect place, position, and to do the right thing. And like G said, don't be trying to wreak havoc. Figure out what's going on, acknowledge what's going on, pay attention to what's going on, and try to, be a shining light or a benefit to yourself and other individuals in your life. Mm-hmm. That's just my message. That's all you can do. That's my message right there.
We're not here to save the world. That job was completed.
Yeah.
Already. So we're not here for that.
But some people feel like they God's gift to earth.
They do.
And you didn't encounter it.
I have. I really have. And I pray for them.
Well, that was a excellent conversation. Until the next time, because we're going to do this again.
Yeah, we have to. Because I could talk to you for hours because you crazy.
Oh, who, me?
Yeah, you. You just you didn't cut up today, but it's in you.
What did the lady, I ain't going to say lady, a lady we know at dinner, she was like, oh, I heard you used to be a party animal. I'm like, nah, I don't know what you talking about. She's like, y'all, you domesticated now. That's the only reason you ain't.
You're a good dad, though. I just want to say that you, and I've told you this, you are an endangered species. People that really love their wife and love their children and are present. You are an endangered species because there's so many people that just don't care.
Yeah, It was like when Sophia was first born. It's like I always wanted kids, but it's just like I don't know. I never could understand why a guy would not be there. I don't care if it's boys or girls. I love them to death, and I can't see it no other way. There could be a million other different scenarios, but I say when I had kids, I'm not gonna treat them. I'm gonna treat them how they want to be treated, and I'm gonna give them the love that they deserve from me. So
they're gonna remember. They're not gonna remember every pair of shoes you bought them, but they're gonna remember my daddy painting my toenails.
Oh yeah,
and played police officer and arrested me on my bicycle for speeding. They're gonna remember that.
Yeah.
And people don't understand. Time is the most valuable thing that we possess, and we take it for granted.
Oh yeah. Because, like I said earlier, one of my friends passed away last week. A year younger than me. And we walk around like we got all the time in the world. You better appreciate the time that you got.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, we don't know how much time we have left. We just don't.
Post office don't know how much time they got left because I'm going to blow that shit. No, I'm joking.
Lord Jesus.
You said cut up.
Lord, don't get locked up, though.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Until we do it again.
Yeah.